A couple of years back, I stumbled upon a very intriguing and thought-provoking book called The 100-Year Life, Living and Working in an Age of Longevity, authored by two professors from the London School of Business. The book talks about how in the past 200 years, the average life expectancy of humans has significantly increased. In the early 1800s, it was only 46 years, but by the year 2020, the life expectancy in most advanced countries was 80 years. The book also talks about some interesting theories as to how Gen Z and the generations to follow will live and work much longer than the previous generations. So if I have to apply these theories to myself, my daughter, who was born in 2006, Gen Z, has a 50% chance of living a 100-year life. And my son, who was born in 2013, Gen Alpha, has a 65% chance of living a 100+ life. So as Gen Z sitting in this auditorium, what does it mean to live and work in an age of longevity? Let me begin with my own example. I belong to Gen X, born in the 1970s, and I have lived a typical three-phase life, which looks something like this. I studied for the first 22 years, I will work for 35 years, and hopefully retire peacefully for the last 10 to 15 years. All this assuming that I will live for 70 years, which is the average life of male members in my family tree. But since I live in Japan, I'll probably give a few more extra years to myself as bonus. Now, if I have to apply the same theory to my daughter and son, they will have 35 to 40 years of retirement, and that completely changes the equation. So for Gen Z, and the generations to follow, it will be a multi-phase life, which will look something like this. You will study for the first 20 to 22 years. You will work for the next 15 to 25 years. You will take a break to reskill yourself, and then work again for 20 to 25 years, and then retire for the last 10 to 15 years. It is possible that you might take a few more rejuvenation breaks just to keep yourself going. Unfortunately, Gen Z and the generations to follow will not be able to retire early, simply because they will not be able to financially afford to retire early. So as a parent, if I have to advise my kids as to how they must plan their future, I would look at 6 fundamental considerations to live a long and happy life. Let us look at them one by one. First one is choosing a career. You will have to choose your career very wisely. It has to be a career which is sustainable, one which gives you the flexibility and options to change your direction if required. It should have an eye on the future, given the technology advancements that are going to come your way. And finally, it should make good money. So the decisions that you take at this age, at the age of 16, 17, 18, will play a very important role in shaping your professional life in future. Remember that by the time Gen Z becomes a part of the workforce in the next 4 to 5 years, artificial intelligence, generative AI, automation, machine learning would be an integral part of your workplace. In fact, it is predicted that 25% of the jobs that are done today will no longer be done by humans. New jobs with new advanced skills would be in place. So if you have to be relevant in the market, in the future job market, you will have to do a deep research now itself and then choose your career. The next one is continuous learning. Since a lot of the jobs that Gen Z would be doing would be technology oriented, you will have to keep yourself updated with the latest technology. You will have to allocate funds for education and continuous learning throughout your life. So even for me, as a management consultant at the age of 46, if I do not upgrade or upskill myself, I will be redundant within a few years. The next one, and that's my favorite, pursuing hobbies. You will have to pursue at least one or two hobbies and make sure that you develop some element of expertise in those hobbies. It may be a sport, music, or any form of art. Malcolm Gladwell, in his book, The Outliers, gives the mantra. It takes 10,000 hours of intense practice to achieve mastery of complex skills and materials. So if you take any sport or any music or any form of art, make sure that you spend enough time and effort to achieve some mastery in that. Somewhere it will give you an edge, and maybe it will also earn you some dollars during your rejuvenation breaks. I took up table tennis and teaching as a hobby, and I'm pretty confident that I will be able to make a decent living out of these hobbies during my retirement. The next one is relationships and associations. Companionship is going to be very important. You will have to make sure that you develop the right people skills and also make time and effort to develop deep, meaningful, and long-term relationships. Somewhere, short-term, online, and long-distance relationships may not work. The next one is maintaining your mental and physical strength. Gen Z, it's going to be a long life, so it better be a healthy life. It is possible that some of you all will have a sedentary lifestyle, or some of you all will have some occupational hazards, and you will have to maintain your mental and physical health. Develop a diet and a fitness plan from now itself, because as you grow older, it becomes difficult to adopt to a new lifestyle. The next one, and that's again my favorite, financial planning. You will have to be extremely meticulous in planning your financial goals. Make sure that your income, expense, savings, and investments are very well planned so that you get a steady flow of cash throughout your life. Financial security gives you a lot of confidence to take risks. Gen Z, it's going to be a very competitive world for you all. And Darwin's theory of the survival of the fittest will be applicable throughout your life. Change or perish would be the mantra. In fact, you will have to keep running even to stay at one place. I would end with an anecdote. In the jungles of Africa, a lion knows that he has to be faster than the deer, otherwise he will perish. The deer also knows that it has to be faster than the lion, otherwise it will perish. You may be a lion or a deer. The moral we learn from the jungles of Africa is you have to be one step ahead of your competitors. You have to be one step ahead of your times. Thank you very much.